This
let's
conference will
see.
now be
Okay, we're
recorded.
Okay. 5:35, not bad. I would declare I'm calling to order. Okay, roll call. Caitlin Cummins here, Jane Gaffer,
Yep.
Bill Bailey,
Yes.
Sarah Curtis,
Here.
Marcia Mayer.
Here.
Good, okay. So you're here, auditor. Joan Hanson.
Here.
And Jesus Hutto. Okay, so we have some old business discussion on location of bulletin board from high school in Vista Park. Are you going to do this, Jesus?
I'm going to pull up the Google map and I can show you my screen to see if this works. Oh, wait a second. I think
Okay.
I might have to show screen first. Oh, you close. Oh, where did you go? Meeting, screen.
That sounds pretty high tech.
Let's see.
I'm
There.
afraid I'll
I need
lose
to.
this if I do this.
It's loading. So Bill, you need light on your face. You're facing the wrong direction.
I can see him.
Light in the back. You know, now all of a sudden, all the pictures are across the top of my screen, and something came up.
You can see.
Well, that's why.
What did I do?
No, you didn't do anything.
You didn't do anything. I did it.
Jesus wants that. He's,
Oh, I see. Oh, I
There.
see. Yeah, I see.
Okay. Is that the Vista?
We're coming. Vista, there we are. So
Okay.
we need to pick up the message board. Where were you all thinking about putting that?
I thought we were talking about putting it on the south side of the bathroom.
So in this area here, can you all see not my
I can't see a thing. I just have an overview of something, a whole lot of roofs and a whole lot of cars.
I do too.
Yeah. Okay, there's
This is this
the
part.
Vista. Okay, there's the tennis courts.
We're talking.
We're not.
We're just south of the back.
So that's my memory.
Just
That's
north.
my memory of the
Yep.
session.
Just south of where?
The
Just
south
The
of the,
The
bathroom.
bathroom.
Oh, the bathroom, okay.
like kind of right up next to it, but yet it's two-sided, right, Jesus?
Yes, it is.
The board's two-sided, so we want access on both sides.
I would think so. Yeah.
Any other ideas?
Sorry, just so that I don't say yes or no, or I like it or I hate it. I'm the bathrooms in the farmers market, the bottom of the Vista, or up by the tennis courts?
The ones by the farmers market are the only bathrooms in the Vista Park.
Okay, and,
Yeah, right
and
here.
where is it that I'm looking at it? Because all I've got is a bit of sad grass kind of at the top of the screen and trees dotted around at the bottom of the screen.
Let me see here if I can draw a line tool here. Pen. Here we go. This is the bathrooms.
What is?
You see that I just drew?
Where his hand is.
I don't have a hand on the picture.
Did you see my red drawing?
No.
Oh, here you can. Okay, hang on.
I see the hand. So
You're a very lucky person, Bill.
I see a
So the
hand.
bathroom
Here, let me
is,
zoom in.
so see the triangle, that's the rose garden.
Okay, there we
About
go.
And then there's a black roofed square, just there goes the red, and that's the bathroom. So south would be below that. I know people set up kind of near there, but I think there's room for both. Any other ideas?
That is one of the entrance spots, isn't it? For the farmer's market.
What do you all think about that orientation at an angle so that I drew a second red line there.
That would
Okay, or
appear to-
going, I think going the other way, because people do enter there, that's where all the food trucks are,
Yeah, they enter on the other side, you're saying?
on the right-hand side by the trees, by the bathroom.
Yeah, that's what I think. They enter over there.
So maybe going the
Something-
other way, angled the other way?
Yeah, I see that. That make there. Yeah.
Yeah, but obviously closer to the bathroom. Or, I don't know, 6
Okay.
feet from the bathroom.
I agree, something like that.
Okay?
Would it-
Do we,
Okay.
any other
That's that.
discussion?
We'll put it there.
I'm
I'm
confused.
sorry.
I'm confused. What sign
I
are we?
don't like it.
I missed something at the beginning of the meeting.
Okay, tell us
Tell us, Jane.
another idea.
I think it needs to be closer to one of the entrances. There's not really an entrance there. You've got entrances below. It's almost like
What
an
about-
X. And I was thinking
What about-
maybe one of the entrances on top or on the other side of the bathroom.
That's what I
Yeah.
was on the other
Yeah.
side.
What about
What
up
about-
against or kind of close to the rose garden?
Yeah,
That's right.
I would think they would rather see roses than the bathroom.
Yeah. What about the where the musicians play, which is sort of at the
Oh, that's not a bad idea either.
I didn't
Centralized.
hear you, Tricia.
where the musicians
I
play.
don't know
So
where
up
Very
against,
central.
Right there, where you got your arrow, right around there.
like near the south end of the shuffleboard court?
You know,
People
I
see-
don't know but north, south, east, and west.
I don't either.
So just
South
there,
is down. South
would
is
say
down on
you-
this map.
near the tree, which is in back of the musicians. Because people will look at where the musicians are.
The other tree.
And probably in front of the tree, but behind the musicians, which is also close. You have to see it almost to go into the restrooms.
I mean, just a thought, do we want people to see this notice board? In which case, why not right in the middle of a rectangle? Right?
where the image.
You mean
Yes,
in
of course we want the
front of where the musicians are, right?
That's sort of in the middle of that rectangle for the farmers market.
I mean, where I'm thinking, okay, if you look at the rectangle in which all these little red lines are, there's a big tree at the top, a tree in the middle below the sort of shuffleboard court, and
Right.
a whole group of trees at the bottom. Why don't we have it right in the middle between the group of trees at the bottom and the tree at the bottom of the shuffleboard court? Then people don't have to go to the bathroom, they don't have to go to the they don't have to go to the food trucks, they just have to be in and they'll see it.
And they're walking around it anyway, yeah.
Yeah, it's right smack in the middle of the,
Oh yeah, that's a good dot use.
Yeah.
yep.
Right there.
so south of
Wait.
where everybody sits when they're watching, because there's quite a bit of concrete there. Right, south of the concrete sidewalks, kind of on this map, on top of the grove of trees at the bottom of the vista.
Right there. Can you see the dot?
No.
Yes, the dot's perfect.
Okay, I'll take Sarah's word for it. I can't see a dot. I can just see a whole lot of all the lines and the circles that we've had before, which I would like
This makes
removed.
it much clearer with that dot, I think.
It's right above the trees in the lower part of
I
an
see
arrow.
it. I see it.
Is it only
Okay.
going to be on one side of the bulletin board, or will the same thing be on the back?
Not the same things, but other things.
It's double-sided.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so we
It's
have a
still
motion
not-
to,
It's still not right in the middle. Do we mind about that? I mean, I'm seeing it to the slightly above left of the group of trees at the bottom. Is that where everyone is concentrating on?
I'll center it. I'll center it. I just
Yeah, I
put that
think we
arrow there point for the area.
Yeah, I think centered would be good.
right,
I think centered would be good. Centered right in between the middle tree, the group of trees at the bottom, and the rectangle, the east and west vista. Not where the dot is right now.
Oh, you're
up a
saying
little bit, okay.
to the center.
Okay, now that's in the middle. Now move it up.
Just a little bit more.
That's where people sit to listen to the musicians, isn't it? Where the new dot is moving to?
No, they're under the trees.
It's, that dot
Yeah.
is below where they usually sit for the musicians, so.
Oh, okay.
So farther
Okay, I'll
down.
get out of this discussion then because I really,
Do we have a motion?
I don't think anything's there. I think that's good.
Yeah. Is there a motion? To
I
where to
move that
put,
we put the, I move that we put the two-sided bulletin board where the orange dot is.
She's cheating
Is
there.
that-
I don't know, east and west, but
Is there a second?
I
I'll
second.
second it. All those in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
And listen, can I just have a proviso that if when someone with the bulletin board gets out and sees that it's not in a sensible place, we can revisit it. It looks as if it's absolutely in the perfect place, but you know, on that little rectangle,
I think once they install it, it's going to be there forever.
Well, the
Gonna
other
be
thing is,
concreted, huh?
Why don't I do this? What I'll do is I understand where I think I understand where you all would prefer it. I will mark it with paint as if we were gonna do like a blue stake. We'll have to blue stake it anyway. So I'll mark it and then I will send you all out a notification that it's been marked for blue stake and you can take a look, and if anybody has an issue with it, then contact me.
sounds perfect.
that's
Sounds-
great.
Okay.
Okay. Mhm.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to new business. Discussion on sign or something at Vista Park indicating that Warren was one of the City Beautiful Plan movements instituted in the US. So Bill, what do you have?
I got that, that information from Marcia. I thought that was quite good on the Ring family or something, compiled that thing on City Beautiful. You know, as you drive into the Vista and drive into Warren, you come to that stop sign as you're driving towards the ballpark on Bisbee Road. You come to that stop sign, and there's that house that says, that duplex on the right, and it's got that thing up that says, "Welcome to Warren." And
Oh, yeah.
that's dramatic. And, you know, I was thinking something like that with "Welcome to Warren, City Beautiful." But of course, he just did that. That's pretty cool. But, you know, it doesn't have to be that big, but something near the Vista that says this was designated at one point in, I think it was 1907, 1908, to be a city beautiful. And they had the electric trolley come in and then have a billboard type thing, you know, maybe 3x5 with some lithographs or pictures of how it was designed and the layout and the trolley, you know, talk about the trolley coming in because they didn't have cars in those days early on. And the trolley brought the workers from the beautiful little city, housing set up for them. And the reason was because in downtown Old Bisbee, where a lot of us live, was a pretty funky scene, you know, sewage in the streets and ramshackle homes. And they thought at that time there was a movement to make housing and stuff for workers better, than give them a more pleasant environment to live in. So, but Warren should be recognized. I mean, I think that, it's pretty cool that they're one of, you know,
Yeah, I think we talked,
built back east.
didn't
but-
we talk about this at a meeting before?
Yeah, we did.
And we liked the idea. Yeah. So I think what we need to do is fundraise and get a, you know, like a drawing and try to find somebody that would make it.
That's right.
And then,
Fine.
but the printing of, you know, a couple paragraphs and some pictures, that would, to me, that sounds difficult.
Yeah, so I'm, you know, I think it's a great idea, but I haven't done anything. You know, we need somebody to draw up something and say, well, how about a billboard that looks like probably the information billboard that we're talking about there, somewhere displayed that Warren, City Beautiful, blah, blah, blah. And then people would walk over to it and learn about that history. The other thing I thought of that would be cool, because that trolley, and I just read this lately, the trolley ran from 1907 or 1908 to 1927, and then the bus service came in. And I thought, now that they've uncovered the tracks downtown across from the Lyric Theater, how cool it would be to try to find an old trolley or a replica of an old trolley car to sit there, show people the, you know, the physical, that you would ride that trolley over to Warren. How cool is that? I don't know, but they've got, you know, they've got the tracks there, and you think, I bet if we went online, looked around, we could find.
You go ahead and you do that.
Trolley thing that.
Could we form a subcommittee to start looking into this? Is that how we would do this?
I don't know.
To draw up some plans and talk to Hot Rod, or, you know, or
Hot Rod could make some of that stuff. He wouldn't do it.
Well, we would have to go to the history museum and get some photos too.
Yeah,
they might be, and they'd probably already have a little summary that would be good that we maybe could use. I think the Bloomers could kick in a little money, and Bill said he would kick in money.
we could do fundraising or something. Now, Boyd Nichols, he's still around. He knew all that stuff too, that historical stuff. So he would be a good source to tap and just find out what he knows about.
Yeah.
May I say something?
Yes.
Go ahead, Marcia.
It's a good time. There's in the area off of, I'm talking about Douglas, and there's a main street. First thing you see really is Urgent Care Center. And if you walk across that parking lot and stop just before you get to the main street that you're driving down, there's a lovely tree, so it provides shade, and there are numerous glass-covered pieces of history about Douglas. And I've always wondered why we didn't have something like that. But that would be a good thing for the committee to take a look at in terms of what they did, how they did it, and and the kinds of things it says. I found it so interesting, based on
Okay,
not knowing that much about Douglas.
Who put it there?
Well, that I don't know. I
That's-
assume the city, but
probably they have a Chamber of Commerce, like we don't. So Bill, would you like to head a committee?
I would like to be involved, yes.
Anybody else?
Well, since Marcia knows where it is, would she like to?
yeah,
So Marcia and Bill?
Sure, I could go. Yeah, I'll go with Marcia over there and we'll look at it. Sarah, how about you?
I've got too much going on other places. I'm starting that imagination library, so
Okay.
I've got that going on.
But Bill, you know Hot Rod, right?
Yes, the metal. And I know also a sign painter like that when, like I said, driving in on Bisbee Road and that Welcome to Warren on that house, this sign painter does pretty cool signage, so we could get him maybe.
But yeah, how would we display pictures and a little script? That would be
Yeah,
something,
right.
right? Okay, well, thank you.
yeah.
So-
We'll go to Douglas and take pictures of what they've done.
Okay. So we have
Okay,
our next meeting is not till September.
Tell me maybe, and I'd get her email and then we'll communicate.
And a good place,
Yeah,
I would
let
have thought. Sorry, beg your pardon. I would have thought a good place for this is, where we all watch the fireworks from the vista, the top segment, and there's a pagoda there. I mean, that would be kind of undercover and a sensible place, and it wouldn't need somewhere new. And all of Marcia's, glass-covered cases would fit quite nicely there, perhaps. And right at the top of the vista, which was the center of the Warren Beautiful, maybe.
Jesus, what's the condition of that gazebo?
I don't know. I'd have to look.
It's bad. It's bad. I'll say that.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad. So that, I don't know if that's,
It's
anyway,
there.
true. It
Well,
hasn't
there's a
fallen.
lot that has to be done before we have to place it, so.
Really, yeah, quite right.
Okay, so we've got Bill and Marcia starting to look into some kind of sign for Warren City Beautiful, and they'll bring that to our September meeting, June, July, September, yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sounds
I
good.
believe I have shown here that we have a meeting in July 14th.
We do have a meeting in July, you said?
That's
Oh,
what my schedule is. So we can go, we have July, August, and November.
Okay. July meeting, okay. Anything else about the sign? Okay. Jesus, will you give us an update on the pool?
Well, as you know, may know, we are not going to open the pool this year. Mostly for the concern of not being able to, mostly for the concern so that we don't expose lifeguards to something we don't have control over. We've put an extreme amount of effort into the other employees, sanitation, streets. I'm sure the police and fire have made a lot of efforts to try to minimize any risk of exposure. In this case, we have somebody drowning. There's just no way that we can do that. And so the city council did decide that it was best to not do that this year. What we can do then is once we come towards maybe sometime in the winter time, we can make sure that as long as everything runs smoothly, we can use that money that we would have used on lifeguards this summer and look at redoing the pool deck. The pool deck for the main pool, it's not any sort of condition where it would be considered dangerous or anything, but it needs some upgrading. So we can do that and put that out to bid and get some ideas and see how much that's going to cost. So that was one of the ideas. There are some other upgrades that we could do, some electrical upgrades. Those will most likely be more costly, but definitely not out of the picture. We'll look to see what our budget looks like after this summer and going into the winter time.
So,
There was,
go ahead.
I just wanted to say, what did I get the go ahead or someone else?
No, go ahead, Sarah. Sorry, I'll say
I
it.
was wondering if there was any indication that the pool would be completely drained. So,
What we're going to do, what we'll do is, yeah, it's got some algae in there, and that's expected. We do that for the winter time so that way we can save money, because on electricity and chemicals, we are going to drain the pool completely, and then we will refill it. I'm not quite sure if we'll refill it completely, but we will refill it, and then we'll be able to run the pumps so that we get some conditioning out of there. We make sure that everything is running correctly. What that will do is, when we have people swimming in the swimming pool during the summer, that pool has to be running 24 hours a day. It has to be running when people are swimming, and then it gets cleaned and sanitized during the evening time when it runs. So it's running 24 hours a day. In this case, what we can do is we can run it like a residential pool. We won't have it running during the day, and during the evening when electricity is less expensive, we can run it and make sure that everything is circulating and making sure that we aren't getting any kind of mosquitoes. I know that there were people worried about mosquitoes. It won't be in that condition.
So are you planning on filling it soon?
Right now we have Carol. She's actually out in getting trained to be an certified aquatics facilities, AFO, aquatics facilities operator. So she's getting certified, and when she comes back, I've already given her the instruction to go ahead and drain it, and then make sure that we have that in good condition.
Do you know Peter von Gunlock?
I have met him a few times, yes.
Okay, he knows that system. He rebuilt that system, and if we could work with him, I think that would really help us out, because for one, he's free, and I know he's a little difficult, but he knows that inside and out, and he could really help when you are getting ready to start the pumps and the chlorinator and all that stuff.
Okay.
And I can get you his contact number if you don't have it.
I've had some contact. I have emails, and I believe he's
Oh,
been
okay.
in his got it. So I have his contact.
Great. So yeah, the grass is getting brown, and are they going to try to keep all that stuff up so that next year we can hit the ground running, hopefully?
Absolutely, we will. We'll make sure that it's in reasonable condition.
Great. Jane?
Sarah and I were talking this morning to Deborah Young, who's a biochemist, someone who knows these things, and she was very concerned that what one does possibly to a residential pool, shove bleach in and hope that'll solve the problem. She was sort of agonizing about the fact that really isn't enough for this pool.
No. That's why we still have Josh on staff. He is certified. They've gone through all the chemicals, and that's another reason Carol is going. She will be certified, and we'll be using the appropriate pool chemicals to maintain this.
Lovely. And can I, because I know Deborah and I don't know the other people, and it's not that I'm doubting you or anything, but she made such an impression on me this morning. Is it possible that she be included in a conversation or about the pool, or is that not done?
If she would like to meet with me, I have no problem with meeting with her and discussing it.
I can keep her up to date too.
Okay, thank you, Kay. Thank you, Caitlin.
I guess one thing that the Friends of the Bisbee Pool are a little worried about is the pool donation fund that we've created.
Yes.
We hope, well, we need and hope that that money won't be used until next year when we have staff again.
We won't use that money. I know that's a donation. We won't use that money and without any discussing that with the Friends of the Bisbee Pool first.
Thank you. Okay, good. Thank you. Okay.
And excuse me, I think I talked over Marcia. Did she have something to say, Marcia?
Yes,
Marcia?
Jane, I did. In the Sunday review of the New York Times this week, there was an article about swimming pools, and I will try to find that and send it to everybody but the city. Is that possible? Is that?
I think that's, Joan, is that a breach of our system, of the rules? How can she send it to Lorena?
Yeah, well, what you need to do is send it to Lorena, and Lorena can distribute it.
Okay. We'll
Thank
do
you,
that.
That sounds great. Thank you, Marcia. So anything
And
else?
it also states a little bit about the chemicals in the water.
Okay.
So I'll do that.
Okay, thank you. Anything else about the pool?
Didn't the CDC rules also state what about the chemicals? Didn't it have it in there what the chemicals needed to be?
It just says that the normal disinfection of pools, chlorine.
Okay.
If you have a saltwater pool, I mean, those normal sanitation chemicals are adequate. It does say that when properly maintained, the coronavirus is
Okay.
not likely to be spread through the water. That
Right.
really
Well,
is.
it wasn't the water that we were really concerned about.
Yeah, it wasn't the
It was-
water. Everything else.
Everything else.
If I could just summarize what this article talked about was so for instance, the lap swimming in the morning, there's not a big crowd and we're separated 6 feet almost by the tubing. But when the children are there in the afternoon, the article felt that one, you can't wear a mask in the pool, and two, it would probably be too crowded for the kids not to have face-to-face liquid coming out of their mouth, whatever it's called, drops.
Let me touch on that just a little bit.
Okay.
Those are part of the CDC guidelines and the recommendations by the Red Cross. All of those, I feel that to some level, we can probably accomplish. We can do lane lines. We can swim on every other lane. We would, if we had general swim, what the Red Cross guidelines say is that we need a 6-foot enforcer. I call it the 6-foot enforcer that can't be a lifeguard that's on duty. I feel that we could accomplish all of those. The only thing we can't accomplish is we cannot not expose our lifeguards. If something happens, whether it was lap swimming or general swim, it's and I'll say this because I know that the council will use this word, it's an unnecessary liability right now. There is no standard of care for coronavirus. And so if we knowingly put somebody at risk, our attorney even said that there's nothing that says that somebody couldn't hold the city liable right now. So
I had one thought yesterday. Can I go ahead, finish? I'm sorry.
That's all I have.
Okay, so Joan, do you think that City Council and Jesus, do you think you'd feel differently if we were able to recruit adult guards?
No, because it's the liability. You're putting people at risk.
Right, but teenagers,
I-
right, that's a horrible image, but
Hmm.
adults would have more knowledge of what they were getting into also.
But the
So-
liability doesn't go away. If somebody should have a problem, where you're putting both people at risk.
And we are in such a libelous society that it's hard to believe that the person would not sue the city. So,
My big problem right now is when I'm watching the numbers, and the numbers are going in the wrong direction. I mean, they're even talking about closing down again. There's been
Yeah.
no,
Bad.
not the city. This isn't the city. This,
and I don't think in Arizona, the curve has gone down at all.
Oh,
It-
no, it's
going up.
gone way up.
It hasn't even leveled out, so,
So yeah, and that's
Yeah.
my concern.
yeah.
Okay, any other pool information? So I put number 4, watering in the parks. So I looked up, I got my old WaterWise audit out, and I thought it gave me more information. It basically tells about how much water is being used in each park. And I'm happy to give this to you, Jesus, if you make a copy if you're interested at all. It's pretty interesting. It's really, really in detail. What I wanted to find out was, how often and how deeply do you need to water? So I looked up the University of Arizona guidelines for Bermuda, and they say every 3 days. And they say the best time to water are early in the morning, or they say at night is okay. Because we don't have the mold problem that other places do. And they say that it should go down, you should be able to stick a long screwdriver into the dirt, and it should go down easily, and then that's deep enough for Bermuda, excuse me. So that's my thing. There are still lots of people coming picnicking. There are book clubs coming at 5 o'clock. I would really like to request officially that you stop watering every night at 5 o'clock. Just because it's unnecessary, it's a waste of water.
Okay, yeah, definitely. If you could, yeah, provide that to me, and I'll share that with our parks, and we'll look at that. And we need to
Okay,
make.
thank you.
When are you proposing that they water? After dark?
That's what I just
Or
said,
not.
that University of Arizona said early in the morning or at night.
And when you say
And
5
it's-
o'clock, you mean 5 o'clock in the morning stop.
No, they're watering at 6 in the morning and 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And the 5 o'clock in the afternoon is getting people wet because people are trying to come and picnic and
Sure.
book club in the park. And it's, and the wind blows it at that time too. So that's a nice thing about at night. The wind isn't usually blowing so much. You can, water more easily.
It's logical that people would use a park between 5 and 7 and late summer afternoon.
Right,
Mhm.
because it's nicer then. So
There's-
that's my request.
There's
And
also
I'll
extra classes too at 4:30 or 5.
Yeah, yeah.
Or
Okay.
if it concerns money in terms of paying someone to go later at night, we could make it a summer schedule.
It's automatic.
Automatic, isn't it?
Yeah,
Oh, I
all
see.
of our-
Oh, okay.
All of our sprinklers are on a timer, so it's
good.
just a matter of we'll review what this
Yeah.
report that Kaylin is going to look at, and we can adjust. We'll make some adjustments.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
What's the length?
Anything else? Go
What's the
ahead.
length of
Go
time?
ahead.
Like
Well, the
in the morning?
water at 5 o'clock, it starts at 5 o'clock. It goes until after 6. And so it goes from one section of the park to the next, so you can't
Oh,
sit
okay,
anywhere in the
okay.
And so I'm talking Higgins. So I don't know about. Okay, anything else? I've wondered, Jesus, have you been able to make the lines and set up the basketball courts at Melody Lane, or just one?
No, I have not done anything with that. Okay. I'll make a note.
And then, okay, and then, at Higgins, that basketball court is cracking and, it seems like it should be on warranty. We asked about that too. Pickleball courts look great, but the basketball court is starting to chip in some places. And it's only been a couple years. That's all I have. Anybody else have comments?
I'm just wondering why there would be a basketball court in the next, say, 12 months at City Hall. Because it's a lot of close contact.
I'm not sure I understand.
Did Kaylin not ask you if you had done anything about a basketball court at City Hall?
No, Melody Lane at Wachukatera School. They're already set
Melody
up.
Lane. Okay.
And they just need new lines and new nets.
Okay. Gotcha.
And because there's nothing in San Jose. There's no basketball courts that are usable. And the one in Higgins Park is getting a lot of use. It's great, but still, it's a busy place.
Okay.
Any other member comments?
Did we ever vote to resolve the proposal by Cynthia of
Yes.
the run? I don't know her last name. Conway?
Yes, we did.
Are you
We
referring to that
voted,
outdoor,
we liked it.
outdoor fitness thing?
Yeah.
Yes, that in fact went to city council to accept that. And it is, I just had a meeting this morning with Cynthia and Larry Saunders from KENG to do a preliminary, like a pre-construction of the concrete pad that's going to be there. KENG is looking to start that sometime in August.
Wow.
They have all the money already?
No, that's why they're waiting for August. They're waiting to submit for a grant.
Yeah.
KNG is going to contract with
They're doing like a site survey?
yeah, well, they have to do all that. They'll do a blue stake and that doesn't cost anything, but that's what they're tentatively scheduled to do is in August. You're right, they don't have that money yet, and that's why they're shooting for August.
Well, they don't have the grant money, but they also had to have like $30,000 in donations.
Yes, and Cynthia did bring that up, and so they're aware of that. If they don't,
Well, I know they're aware of it, but where are they at? How much money do they have that they're getting started already?
No, I don't know.
Well, they have 10,000 from Bisbee Vogue.
How much?
And then 10,000 from Bisbee
Wonderful.
Vogue.
Well, yeah, but they still needed, I thought they still needed 30,000 though.
Yeah. And
I can't remember, the number may be wrong, but I know that they also needed donations as well as the 30,000 that they were getting from, I can't remember them. The recreational park or people, I can't remember what the name is. Just don't let them get ahead of themselves.
Yeah, I think if
Yes,
you're counting on the
know that.
donation.
All right, anything else? Can I have a motion to adjourn?
I so move.
Is there a second?
Yep. I so move.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Now we're adjourned at 6:20. This worked out well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So our next
How do we
meeting
leave the
is
meeting?
in July.
July, yeah. And so Lena will send us another link that worked out really quite well. How do we leave the meet? Oh, I see. That little arrow in a box. That's how we leave the meeting.
Through
It's an
what?
arrow.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm leaving the meeting. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Aye.
Where's the box?